Good morning, second grade. Our first phonogram for today is or. What are you going to write? Good, or. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram. What is it? Good, or. This is our or. All right, make sure yours looks like that. Our next phonogram is AE that we do use at the end of English words. What are you going to write? Good, AE that we do use at the end of English words. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram. What is it? Good, AE that we do use at the end of English words. This is our AE that we do use at the end of English words. So if you didn't have that, write it. Say it while you write it. All right, our next phonogram is R. What are you going to write? Good, R. Say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you just write? Good, R. All right, if you didn't have that, write it. Say it while you write it. Our next phonogram is ow, o, oo, What are you going to write? Good, ow, o, oo, All right, say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram. What is it? Good, ow, o, oo, This is our ow, o, oo, And the next one is sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Class, what are you going to write? Good, sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram. What is it? Good, sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. This is our sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. All right, let's quickly review our phonograms. What is this one? Good, R, and this one, or, good. Good, ow, o, oo, Good, sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one, and this one. Good, AE that we do use at the end of English words. All right, we are ready to start our words. Today, some of our words are contractions. Now, we did contractions earlier in this year. Let's try so contractions, remember if something contracts, it gets shorter. So contractions are when we take two different words, we shorten them, smash them together, and we always replace the letters we took out, the letter or letters that we took out with a certain punctuation mark. It's the punctuation mark that looks like a comma that's coming down from our top baseline. Class, does anyone remember what this is called? All right, good. That is called an apostrophe. Can you say that with me? Apostrophe. All right, so in our contractions, we have two separate words. We take out one or more letters. We put those two words into one, and we replace the missing letters with an apostrophe. I am glad that we're doing some new contractions because it's been a while since we've done this. All right, so our first contraction, we'll write the words first. Our words that we make the contraction from are we, are. All right, so one more time, before we make the contraction, we're just going to write the words we and are. Those are two separate words. There should be a space in between them. We are. So those are review words. Hopefully we're going to remember how to spell those words. So write them, say them while you write them. We are, two words. All right, class, put your finger under those two words you just wrote and read them to me. What are they? Good, we are. Class, what kind of syllable is our first word here? Good, it's an open syllable. All right, and then at the end of are, we have silent final E. Which job is it? Good, job 6. All right. I'll just go ahead and mark these words just because, but I don't think we need to. They're not marked in the book because they're review words, so just we are. So you could say we are going to the park. You could also shorten we are. Does anyone know what that contraction is? Good, we're, right? We're going to the park. Or we're going to the park. Let's say the sounds in we're, be paying attention to which sound we don't hear. So we're is our contraction. What are our sounds? All right, in we're, our sounds are w, e, r, and we're keeping our silent final E. So in we're, one more time, what are we going to write? Good, so w, e, r, silent final E. But let's look at our words. What sound is missing? Let's see, w, e, r. We're going to replace this letter, just the letter, with an apostrophe. All right, so for we're going to write w, e, apostrophe, r, and then our silent final E. All right, so before I write it, I'm going to put a dash like this, and then I'm going to write our contraction right next to it, just so I remember what that contraction, what words it comes from. All right, one more time, what are we going to write to spell we're? Apostrophe. All right, say those sounds till you write them, class. All right, class, put your finger under the first phonogram in that contraction. What is it? Good, w. Good, e. Good, apostrophe. R. And good. All right, and it actually says, since these are review words, we shouldn't need to mark them, so I'll just go ahead and don't worry about taking them off if you did, but. All right, so what were our two words that we made a contraction out of? Good, the two words are we are. What is our contraction of we are? Good, we're. The thing to remember is which letter we're removing and replacing with an apostrophe. All right, our next contraction, the words are two words we're going to make the contraction out of are you, are. So one more time, two separate words. Make sure there's a space in the middle. Our two words are you, are. Again, these are review words. I did review the phonograms that are in them in case we're not sure, but you are, just write those two separate words. All right, class, what are those two separate words that you just wrote that we're about to make a contraction out of? Good, the words are you are. All right, so make sure yours looks like those. Says, since we should have mastered these words, that we won't mark them. All right, so you are, our contraction for you are is your. Okay, now we already learned a different your. This one, so we're not going to be using that one. That one doesn't have an apostrophe. Since this is a contraction, we know it's going to have an apostrophe. So you are, the contraction is your, but we would probably say you're to spell it just like we do the other one, you're. All right, so you're. What sounds do we hear in the contraction you're? Good, the sounds we hear in our contraction you're are y, oo, and then we're going to keep that silent final E. So we have to figure out which letter we're replacing with an apostrophe. So let's look. Y, oo. Do we have this sound? What are we going to write instead? Good. Apostrophe, silent final E. All right, class. So this letter, again, just like in we are, this was the letter that we replaced our apostrophe with. In you are, this letter again, we're replacing it with an apostrophe. So go ahead and write your, or your. Say the sounds while you write them. Don't forget your apostrophe. All right, pause the video if you're not finished, class. Tell me what I need to write to spell that contraction, your, or your. What is it? Good, yeah. Oo. Apostrophe, good. And then we still have that silent final E. All right, make sure yours looks like that. And again, we're not marking the contractions, so that's all we need. I guess we should make sure we read it though. Class, what is this contraction we just wrote? Good, your, is what we would say. And how about this one? Good, we're. All right, our next two words we're going to make a contraction out of. The next two words are they are. They are. All right, so again, those should be review words. They are. Go ahead and write those two words. All right, class, what are the two words you just wrote? Good, they and are. All right, make sure your words looks like that. They are. All right, our contraction for they are is there. Once again, we had a different kind of there last week. This one's going to be spelled differently. Since this one is a contraction, it needs an apostrophe. All right, so they are our words there. All right, so let's see in there what sounds we hear there. Th, a, r, and we'll keep our silent final E. So for there it's th, A, R, our silent final E, but class, which letter? We need an apostrophe wherever our letter is missing. Which letter are we replacing with an apostrophe? Good, it's our A. So to write the contraction there, we're going to write the A apostrophe R and our silent final E. All right, so this comes out, it gets replaced with apostrophe, and everything else is pushed together into one. All right, go ahead and write there. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, class, tell me what I need to write for our apostrophe there. Good. A apostrophe R and our silent final E. All right, so again, all of our contractions today, we are, you are, they are. Every time it was this letter that got taken out. So let's remember that. That's going to help us because they're all the same. When it's R that we're making a contraction with, something R, it's going to be this letter that we take out. All right, so class, what contraction did we just write? Good. Again, if we were, we would probably say there to spell it, right? But when we're talking, we say there. All right, our next word is nation. Class, what's the word? Good, nation. Our nation is the United States. Nation. All right, but nation is a two-way word. To spell it, we say nation. Right, remember like action and, oh, we had another one. So whenever we have that shun ending that we say, we always are going to say Sean to spell it. So nation. How many syllables are in nation? Show me. Hope we've got this. All right, nation. Class, what's our first syllable? Good, nay. And the second syllable? Good, Sean. What sounds do we hear in the syllable nay? Good, our sounds are n, a. It's an open syllable, so that means we're using what A? Good, a, ah. If I say an open syllable, it always means just the single vowel at the end. All right, write that first syllable and say the sounds while you write them. All right, nation. Class, what's our second syllable? Good, Sean. What sounds do you hear in the syllable Sean? Good, our sounds are sh, ah, n. One more time, what are our sounds? Good, sh, ah, n. And our sh is tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Class, which sh are we going to use in nation? Good, sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Write those sounds, say them while you write them. All right, pause the video if you're not finished yet. All right, class, put your finger under the first phonogram in that word. What is it? Good, n. Good, a. Good, sh. Ooh, which sh? Good, sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. What's next? Good, ah. N. Right, make sure your word looks like that. And let's mark it. Does this need a marking? How about this? Good. Why are we underlining that? Good. It's saying its name. How about this? Good. This. All right. Pick up your pencil and mark it. All right, class, let's read our word. Good, so to spell it, we say nation. When we're talking, we say nation. That's what's gonna get our thinking cap. Wait, don't say it yet. Tell me three, or think about it. 3, 2, 1. What is it? Good. Yep. Anytime we have that Sean, we say Sean to spell it, but then shun when we're talking nation. This guy always gets the thinking cap. All right. Good. One more time, class. How do we say this to spell it? Good. Nation is how we say it to spell it. What do we say when we're talking? Good. Nation. All right. Our last word is inform. Class, what's the word? Good. Inform. So to inform someone means to tell them, right? Or to let them know somehow. So please inform me why you were late. Inform. How many syllables are in inform? All right, hopefully you got this. There are 2 syllables in inform. Class, what's our first syllable? Good. In. And the second syllable? Good. Form. All right, let's see if we can do that whole word together. The first syllable, in. What are our sounds? Good. Our second syllable, form. What are our sounds? Good. So, I, n, f, or, m. Inform. Say the sounds, will you write them? Don't forget your syllable break. All right, pause the video if you're still working. Finger under the first phonogram. What is it, class? Good. I. Good. N. All right, syllable break. Good. What's next? Good. Or. Good. And. Good. All right, make sure your word looks like this. Let's mark it. Good. And this. All right, pick up your pencil and mark it. And let's read our word. All right, class, let's go back and review our words. So our 2 words, what are these 2 words that we made a contraction out of? Good. We are, and what's the contraction? Good. We're. How about these 2? Good. You are, and our contraction? Good. You're. How about these 2? Good. They are, and the contraction? Good. They're. And this word, how do we say it to spell it? Good. To spell it, we say nation. How do we say it when we're talking? Good. Nation. And this one? Good. Inform. All right, class. Nice work. I'll see you in our next video.